More stem cells, more regeneration, more repair of the heart, longer survival. Less stem cells, you're in trouble. Do foods stimulate stem cells? And the answer is yes.
Have you heard of Dr. William Li? Well, if you have not, let's start by introducing him. Dr. William Li is a world-renowned Harvard medical doctor, researcher, and founder of the Angiogenesis Foundation. Through his extensive research and multiple discoveries, his work has helped to treat and prevent multiple diseases. Due to his phenomenal findings, more than 40 FDA-approved treatments and gadgets for diseases like cancer, heart disease, vision problem have been overcome due to his expertise. We've compiled teachings from Dr. William Li over the years, emphasizing hydration's crucial role in living a longer and healthier life, free from disease. This video will break down 3 beverages. Aside from water, Dr. Li often recommends in his seminars and discussions. Dr. William Li is not just known for his astonishing medical talent, he also happened to be a New York best-time author with his books called Eat to Beat Disease, The New Science of How Your Body Can Heal Itself, and the most recent release called Eat to Beat Diet, Burn Fat, Heal Your Metabolism, and Live Longer. Now we will be talking about Dr. Li's 3 top drinks that are known to boost stem cell numbers and promote a longer life, so make sure to watch till the end for all the exciting details. You will be hearing it from the man himself. Now let's start with Dr. William Li's 5 tips to live healthier and longer.
Number 1, stay hydrated, because dehydration actually makes everything in your body work harder. And so if you want your food to work for you, you actually want to make sure your body has enough water content to be able to keep all those metabolic processes functioning really well. Number 2, I would say eat what you like, but make sure that most of what you eat falls in the category of what we call plant-based foods. Third, I would say to the extent possible, avoid ultra-processed foods. The other thing that I would actually say that would be really helpful is to try to avoid foods with added sugars whenever you can. And the 5th thing I would actually say is that I want to come back to beverages for a second. You know, besides water, there's 2 other beverages that I think are go-tos for health. And one is tea. Could be green tea, could be oolong tea, could be black tea. And the other one is coffee. Remarkably, you know, water, tea, and coffee are the go-tos for beverage and health. Now, what you add to them can make a big difference.
So now we have established that the first tip is to keep ourselves hydrated and ultimately to select healthy drinks. Next, let's delve into 3 drinks beyond water that Dr. William Li personally enjoys and often refers to in his educational sessions as beneficial for our health. Be sure to stick around until the end of the video, where Dr. Li will reveal which drinks to steer clear of to maintain optimal health for a longer life. You don't want to miss it. Number 1 is coffee. Coffee stands as the second healthy beverage choice, potentially contributing to a longer lifespan.
And I'm having breakfast, and I thought I would actually share with you what I'm having. Here's some coffee. Coffee's got chlorogenic acid, which is actually good for your metabolism. It also activates your health defenses, anti-angiogenic, anti-inflammatory. I love coffee.
According to Dr. William, research in the Annals of Internal Medicine involving 171,000 UK residents in their 50s revealed that consuming 2 to 3.5 cups of coffee daily was associated with a 30% reduction in the risk of death from any cause. This participant was part of the UK Biobank, a project with 500,000 participants, and the investigation spanned 9 years.
So what's in coffee that is so beneficial for health? Coffee has a natural chemical called chlorogenic acid that does a lot of things. It improves your blood flow, stimulates your own stem cells to help your organs regenerate. It improves the gut microbiome, which lowers inflammation and improves metabolism. It's an antioxidant, and chlorogenic acid also improves your immune system.
So far, we understand that drinking coffee has significant benefits for our health. But what about organic coffee? Is it better for us?
Organic coffee has more chlorogenic acid than conventionally grown beans.
Chlorogenic acid, which helps to repel insects as well. An organic coffee bean has 3 times as much chlorogenic acid.
Number 2 is green tea.
Green tea especially has a natural polyphenol that's called catechins, EGCG, epigallocatechin gallate, EGCG. And the catechin is actually just part of the natural substance in the tea leaf. So whether you're brewing tea with a bag, or whether it's loose leaf tea, or whether it's matcha, which is just powdered tea leaves, the fact of the matter is that into the brew, into the liquid, hot liquid, comes all these phytochemicals, including these catechins. So when you sip straight tea, the catechins go right in, they're easily absorbed, by your body. And so, our blood levels of catechins go way up. So many things that catechins can do. One of the things that's important is actually it's a relaxant. It actually helps lower your stress. It lowers the catecholamines. And so other things, it helps your lipids. It actually also helps fight cancer. It's anti-inflammatory. A substance that has so many beneficial things that, at least when I drink tea, I want to get as much as I can out of my food.
Now we have established that green tea is very beneficial for your health. I personally don't like green tea, and I know there are many of you out there who don't either. Like me, some people prefer black tea. So is black tea any good?
Green tea will increase your stem cells, but guess what? So can black tea. People in Asia drink a lot of tea. People in Britain drink a lot of tea as well.
Yeah.
We used to say green tea is good, black tea is fermented, so it's not going to be that good for you. We're changing our minds. We have to keep our minds open. Black tea can also double the number of stem cells.
In many countries like Acai and the United Kingdom, adding milk to their tea is a standard routine for them, so people cannot consume a cup of tea without milk. Is adding milk to tea interfering with absorbing the bioactive component in tea?
I deeply respect traditions of eating and drinking. And one of the things that, I know is a tradition in England is, or in Ireland, you actually put some milk or cream into your tea. It actually changes the flavor profile, and it's lovely. I've had plenty of teas in England before. I find it to be just such an incredibly nice, put dairy in it. Here's what you need to know. Dairy, and I'm talking about cow dairy, right? So not nut milk. This applies to cow dairy. We'll come back to the nut milk in a second. Cow dairy, okay, actually is fat. Milk has got fat in it, like butter, which is made out of milk. And the fat, when you put it into your tea, does change its flavor, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the fact that when milk or cream is put into tea, the fat molecules in the cow dairy form little soap bubbles. These are microscopic soap bubbles. They're called micelles. Fat likes to stick with fat. Tea is mostly water. And so when you pour milk into tea, the dairy fat sticks together and makes a little tiny soap bubble. And what does it do? Those soap bubbles trap the polyphenols from tea. It traps the catechin. So you've got some good stuff wrapped in the soap bubble of dairy. And now when you drink the tea, the catechin is trapped in the soap bubble. It doesn't get absorbed as easily in your stomach, and it just rolls down your gut, and a lot of it comes out the other end, okay? And so you're missing out on a lot of the good stuff. If you're drinking cow milk, dairy, put it in your tea, you're getting good flavor, but you're missing out on most of the polyphenols. So just be aware that that's what you're actually doing. Now, if you want to actually still cut the tea with something that is milk-like, nut milks are fine because they don't actually have the same fatty reaction that the cow dairy has. So almond milk, cashew milk, those soy milk, they're all fine.
If you are too addicted to having milk in your tea, then here is an option for you.
I had this discovery that might be useful for your listeners who are in exactly that situation where they like the taste of milk in their tea. I discovered there is something called milk tea. It's actually from Taiwan. It's grown in the mountain. And it's just pure tea leaves that when you brew it, it tastes like it's got dairy in it.
He's talking about a traditional Taiwanese green tea known as Jin Zhuan, also recognized as milk oolong tea. This particular variety is celebrated for its distinctive milky taste, often referred to as Nai Jiang or milk oolong. This special blend from Taiwan offers the full benefits of green tea, enriched with a subtle milky essence. Dr. William Li also points out an intriguing research finding: mixing different teas could result in a more powerful effect than drinking any single type of tea on its own.
So here are 4 different teas that we've tested. They're all common ones: Chinese jasmine, Japanese sencha, Earl Grey, and a special blend that we prepared. You can see clearly that the teas vary in their potency from less potent to more potent. But what's very cool is when we actually combine the 2 less potent teas together, the combination, the blend, is more potent than either one alone. This means there's food synergy.
For those concerned about caffeine intake from tea, opting for decaffeinated varieties is a viable alternative.
You can get decaffeinated green tea decaffeinated with water decaffeination process, not the solvent. So there are companies that actually tell you that they probably tell you that they remove the caffeine using a water process.
Number 3 is chocolate. Contrary to what many of us have been led to believe, chocolate is the 3rd food item that can be transformed into a delightfully healthy drink.
Cacao or chocolate. It turns out that studies have been done where if you take chocolate with high flavonols and make a hot chocolate out of it, and you drink it just twice a day, 2 cups a day,
for 30 days. You can start by measuring your stem cells, and this is from 16 subjects, and you can make the stem cell levels. This is 2 cups of hot chocolate, of high flavanol hot chocolate, just twice a day. By the way, all of these patients had cardiovascular disease. They had documented blockages in their arteries in their heart, and they could get more stem cells going. That is a small study, but really, really interesting to think about. So again, we need to pay attention to what kind of studies these are. This is a clinical trial. It's a small study, but it actually is really important because it correlates with some of the other information I showed you. A larger study, 20,000 people in Germany, showed that those who ate 7.5 grams of chocolate per day lowered the risk of heart attack or stroke by 39%. Okay, what is 7.5 grams of chocolate? It's about 3 chocolate chips. Got to be dark chocolate, not that much. And you know, it's, by the way, I want to say it's not the dairy in the chocolate. It's not the sugar in the chocolate. It is that natural chemical in cacao. And that's what we need to be able to do, is the final product that we're served up by companies isn't necessarily what's good for us. But we need to be able to discern what it is that is actually in the food that might be doing us a favor. If you take the really dark chocolate, like 73% cacao, the really dark chocolate, and you make it into a high flavanol hot chocolate drink, and you have it twice a day. This was the clinical study. They found in people who wound up actually drinking the hot chocolate twice a day over the course of a month, they doubled the number of stem cells compared to the people who didn't drink hot chocolate. So the question is that important? Well, when they measured their blood flow, what they did is they put a blood pressure cuff on them, and which, you know, kind of lowers the circulation of the blood. Then they let it go. They found that the blood flow was vastly improved. So here's the functional results that actually means it makes a difference. So who's going to complain about chocolate? Who's going to complain about tea? Who's going to complain about a Mediterranean diet? I mean, you go out to eat. These are the things we love.
Now here is the final message from Dr. William Li for those chocolate lovers out there about its effect and what to look out for.
Chocolate is a confection. Like if you get a Milky Way bar or Three Musketeers, I mean, you know, like Halloween candy, all right, that's a confection. It's got all kinds of stuff and actually not that much real cacao. But get a bar, which you can find in almost any grocery store now, that's 80% or higher chocolate, cacao. Now you're talking about essentially something that's mostly plant-based, because that's what cacao is. It gives you dietary fiber. It gives you polyphenols from the chocolate. And we've done some research that was presented at the American Society of Nutrition's annual meeting that showed that the stuff in dark chocolate can cut off the blood supply feeding cancers. It's an anti-inflammatory. And we actually tested with leukemia cells, for example, and it directly is toxic to leukemia cells. It kills leukemia cells.
Dr. Li often mentions pomegranate juice as another healthy drink. Be sure to subscribe for more videos we have coming soon about Dr. Li's life-changing tips. Regarding beverages, Dr. William Li advises against one in particular, alcohol.
What can injure stem cells? You know, high doses of alcohol can damage and blunt your stem cells. The thing is, on balance, people who drink a lot have damaged stem cells. Diabetes is another state, a metabolic state that, you know, it really impairs, it cripples our stem cells. High blood sugar cripples our stem cells. So the excess of anything can be harmful, including to our stem cells.
Many people believe that alcohol can facilitate better sleep, with surveys indicating that up to 20% of adults in the United States use it as a sleep aid. However, despite this common perception, scientific research contradicts the idea that alcohol improves sleep quality. Studies have found that while alcohol may help people fall asleep faster, it significantly disrupts sleep patterns and decreases the quality of rest overall, particularly in the second half of the night.
What are you drinking for dinner? All right. Ironically, you know, even though people say you drink wine or beer, you know, alcohol makes me sleepy. It can make you sleepy, but actually, when you actually have booze in your system, you never actually get good, deep sleep. The alcohol in your brain actually doesn't allow you to go dive deep. So you kind of a little bit near the surface. You're restless. You're not getting full renewal sleep. And so that's why, you know, it's important just to recognize that among other reasons you want to control alcohol intake, you know, cut down or cut out, it will interfere with your sleep.
So, it's evident that making informed dietary choices can significantly impact our health and longevity. Dr. William Li's insights have shed light on the importance of hydration, plant-based eating, and avoiding processed foods and added sugars. Furthermore, his recommendations regarding beverages like tea, coffee, and even chocolate have provided valuable alternatives for promoting overall well-being. However, he emphasizes caution against excessive alcohol consumption, citing its detrimental effects on stem cells and sleep quality. By incorporating these guidelines into our lifestyles, we we can take proactive steps towards achieving better health outcomes and enjoying a longer, more vibrant life. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more life-changing tips and stay tuned for upcoming videos. Your journey to better health begins here.